I firmly believe there's three major issues with Marvel Future Revolution. I think if these issues got resolved, we would see a much larger mass grab of the casual gamer. I think currently what this game is missing is being appealing to the average casual gamer. I think this game is very appealing to people that are hardcore Marvel fans and people that are familiar with either Korean style MMOs, more grindy games, or Diablo type of stuff, games that have like Paragon level type of ideas where you can just kind of grind and get stronger and stronger and stronger, and games that are very long term in their scalability, okay? Games that move the goalposts forward, if you know what I'm referring to. In order to get the casual type of gamer, the average player, to want to interact with these type of games, we have to hit them on that casual average gamer type of level. Now, the biggest thing we have going for us in this game here is Marvel's IP. Obviously, it's the fact that we have characters like Spider-Man, Iron Man, okay? We have Captain America. We have some of the most popular heroes in the game. The biggest problem I think we have currently is not the heroes. Like, I'm not mad that we have Storm and Black Widow and Star-Lord. I think we need more heroes sooner than what it seems like the pace is going to be. As it stands currently, Magic is slated to be coming to the game in soon TM. We don't know when that is. So far, we've had one update, and I do think the updates are coming at a decent pace to the game. We've seen patching different, at a different pacing than I've seen in previous mobile games. It seems like it's quicker to pacing, which I'm okay with personally. Might be rough for the free-to-play people who are trying to grind and want to be at in-game content all the time, but it also gives you content to play through, so there's a balance there, okay? However, to get that casual average person that we're going to need to want to be interested in this game. And keep in mind, if you're a hardcore gamer and you're thinking, why do I care if casuals join this game? Well, when casual and average players join the game, it does two things for you. One, it instantly makes you a stronger person because you are in a higher percentile as a informed hardcore player. You're going to be better than the average casual player. Therefore, having them gives you people to feed off of. It gives you higher rankings. It gives you more rewards. It makes you a stronger player because that's how these games work. It scales based upon the power level of the people. It's a spectrum, okay? So that is good for you hardcore players, but there's another reason it's good for hardcore players too, to get the more casual average gamer. It's because when there's more people in the game, it's going to bring more hype to the game. It's going to bring more excitement to you. When more of your friends are playing the game, they're going to care more that you're a good player and ask for your advice, more stuff like that. And as a hardcore type of sweaty type of player, if that's the type of person you are, that's the type of stuff that typically appeals to you, I would think. I would assume. I'm more of the casual type of gamer myself. So in order to get the casual type of gamer like myself, you have to appeal to the broad marketability, which is just people loving Marvel. That's why we're all playing this game. We're all huge Marvel fans. In order to get the people that are Marvel fans, they're going to want to see their favorite heroes. They're going to want to play them. All this to say the point that we need more heroes sooner rather than later and at a decent pacing. That way the people who are getting bored of the game because grindability and in-game content isn't really there, they will have something to do by trying out new heroes at least. It can buy you time to fix the in-game problem, which brings us to point number 2. In-game currently consists of an unfun pattern. Keep in mind, I am familiar with the fact that in-game for most games, and definitely most mobile games, is sort of a recursive, cycler pattern that is repetitive over and over again, and that is typically in-game because it's not possible to create non-stop, fresh, new in-game content at a pacing that's faster than the players can basically eat up that content. It's not humanly possible. So for that reason, the only way for devs to solve this issue is by making at least some pattern or a grind or moving the goalpost, basically a cheese tactic in order for in-game, okay? This can be seen in most games that are mobile. For instance, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the in-game is just like grinding Grand Arena over and over again and grinding whatever new heroes come out. The in-game in Raid Shadow Legends is just grinding the clan boss to try to get drops and basically just trying to get new heroes. There is really no in-game that people are thinking about in most of these games. There hasn't been in-game since RuneScape, and I'm talking the original RuneScape, okay? since 2001, all right? There hasn't really been in-game in almost any game, okay? I think most people understand what I'm saying. It's just grinding gear and optimizing your character at the end. The game's not the end, your character is. Now, that we've established that point and established the point that I'm okay with grindable in-game, the one that we have in the game is not fun. That is the crux of the point. Currently, the in-game is we need to go into Dark Zone, grind experience, then go to your blitzes currently, do your blitzes to try to get a good badge, which, by the way, all of this is done on auto. None of this is actually played. The only portion that's actually played every day is your Omega War and Dimension Duos, your special operations, and maybe your battle challenges, okay? If you're a well, you can basically auto all of these things. If you are free to play, most of these things are very frustrating to do because you get beat by everyone else to do it anyway. If you're a low-level spender, all of these things are outpaced by people who spend more than you. So here's how I feel about it. I don't mind repetitive parts of the game if the repetitive parts of the game are enjoyable. This is why games like Counter-Strike and League of Legends do so exceptionally well in the gaming market, even though it's doing the same thing over and over and over again, because the gameplay that is repetitive is enjoyable or variable based upon the players. So how do we implement that type of thing into a mobile gacha game that's really designed to grab money from gambling addicts? I actually have the answer for this one. And it's weird I'm saying this because I've sort of made a career against talking against companies that do this sort of thing, okay? But Plarium actually sort of gets this one right for Raid Shadow Legends. And if you guys don't know my history behind Raid Shadow Legends, I used to actually be a Plarium moderator. I was an official content creator with them. I was slated to actually fly over to Ukraine, the whole deal, okay? I had a big falling out with them. They ended up getting review bombed. They dropped in the App Store a whole bunch. There's videos out there about it. It was a whole big drama years ago within the community, and it was actually really hilarious. Their CEO ended up getting fired like the following month, okay? Their investors even called all the content creators to try and figure out what was going on. It was a hilarious month. That being said, I still will admit here freely today, they understood one thing about these type of games very well. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about one simple word that's sort of a meme because we all joke about it, but it's the truth when you boil it down to these games. Dopamine. I'm talking about the excitability from pulls or acquiring new items or getting a badge, an Omega card. Basically, the excitement comes from this game if we boil it down to being honest. And I don't care, honestly, because it's not the point of the video, how you feel about the morals of this. It's just we're talking about the objective information here. When you boil it down to the game, games like these ones are exciting when you acquire new excitement from getting lucky. If the RNG was not in the game and all the badges were just, if I kill this, I get the same badge every time, kill him 30 times, you get one badge, 40, you get the other, it would be the most free-to-play friendly game of all time. I'm sure we could all agree upon that, but they would also probably be a game nobody plays because the reason people play these type of games is for the excitement when you get something new, when you get that upgrade for your hero. That's why these games pull in thousands and thousands of dollars. It's why people spend 20, 30, 40, 50, even upwards of $100,000 on these type of games to quit literally months afterwards, okay? Because that feeling, it is why games like this have been slated and discussed about needing regulation as it is sort of almost in the gambling market. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this because I've covered this on my main channel a whole bunch, but basically games like Raid Shadow Legends are actually owned by a company called Aristocrat Leisure, which is a full billion dollar company. I think it's a $400 billion company or something. I'm sure I'm making up a number, but it's a ridiculous, crazy, rich company that makes slot machines of all things, that owns, the biggest memed about mobile game, Raid Shadow Legends, right? And I think if that doesn't really tell you the crux of what these games are about, I don't know a better way to put it. So, how do we make in-game, to get back to the original point, exciting in a game that is based upon dopamine and triggering the RNG excitement from the lottery win of getting a good badge, for instance? How do we implement that correctly? And I'll tell you, there's one way to do it that is obvious, that is not getting talked about. Okay, the answer, it's rewards. Why is it rewards? Well, let's think about it. If we boil it down, we're being honest with ourselves, and you do have to be honest with yourselves. There's going to be comments that are saying, DM, I only play this game free to play. I play it because of the story, because I love the gameplay. I play everything manually. Great, you're right. And every time there's anybody out there that remotely does something that's, I'm saying, is not very common, they're going to be like, I do it. You're right, but you're not the reason mobile games exist. I'm sorry to tell you. The reason mobile games exist is because there are people out there that like dopamine, that like gambling and all these things. And I'm not here to argue the morals with it because I don't care about that argument. It's a stupid argument. I hate arguing morals. Morals are subjective. I've had many people tell me in my life I should stop smoking weed because it's horrible for me and all this stuff. But I was in the gutter when I started, and now I'm most mentally, physically healthy I've ever been. This is in the nicest place I've ever been. I got myself out of the ghetto. I'm making more money than I've ever made my life. I'm making progress more. I mean, my relationships are happier and healthier. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, why? What? Like, where is the problem? You know what I mean? And so that's why I hate arguing morals about stuff. And often you don't see me on this channel saying what's morally wrong, because I'm not a preacher. I prefer to be a reporter, an investigator, a journalist, okay? And what I am saying is the majority of people, in my belief, play mobile games for dopamine and excitement, and rewards are the answer. If that is the reason people are playing the game, and you give them very little of that, they will stop playing the game. The rewards in this game are non-existent. If you're first place in the entire world on literally everything, the rewards are so bad to the point that the weekly pack offers that you're going to buy are just going to be better anyway. It doesn't make sense that being the literal best isn't as good as spending $25. I think that might be the stupidest idea I've seen in a game. And it's not stupid because being the best should give you a ton of rewards, because then we just have a win more well war, which would probably be good for the company but not good for the people. The reason it's stupid is because the amount of rewards is so low. If you're in the top 50%, you might as well not even open those boxes. If you're in the top 20 or 30%, hell, if you're in the top 50, the rewards are still trash. So trash to the point that you're not going to get a 10 pull every week. That's every week. I mean, you might not get a 10 pull every 2 or 3 weeks, depending upon your placements. So it is really quite bad, meaning you're giving people very low amounts of opportunities to get hooked onto your game. People will get hooked onto the game when they have an enjoyable experience in the game. I promise you, very often enjoyable experiences in this game is getting a new, really good piece of gear. How many times in the chat are you seeing people go, oh, hell yeah, I just had the most fun Blitz experience? That's not what's happening. People are saying, hell yeah, I just got the best badge. Look at this badge. They're linking it. Look at this drop I got. So you're giving yourself very few opportunities to get your hook into the player to increase your audience retention stat. I mean, I'm willing to work for you guys. Hire me as your audience retention specialist on Constellation or something. I'll do it, because I promise you, if you give the people better weekly rewards, people will log in more often every week to see those rewards. And the couple players you lost every week that get something good at that end of the week for free are going to be excited enough to maybe try to finish that regional set. Maybe they'll give you $25, okay? You can make a cut of that. Maybe they won't give you $25, but you'll get time while they got excited again to get back into the game, and you have a few more days to try to get your money out of them. Now, while I'm saying this, a lot of the viewers are probably like, oh, dear, like, dude, you're just talking about like how to manipulate the... No, what I'm talking about is literally this is how business strategies work for these mobile gaming companies. They're thinking about how can we get the viewer, the audience, my players to continue to stay in the game and spend more money. That's their 2 goals. Or 3 goals. More players to see and download the game, more players to stay in the game, and the people that are staying in the game to give them money. That's what they care about. Every game in the history of existence cares about these things. They would be stupid not to care about these things. That's the purpose of the business. A business is innately an entity that in and of itself has one purpose in life, and that's to make itself better and make more money. That's all it does, okay? And for that reason, you have to speak that language to them in order to make a point. My point is here today, it is my personal opinion and professional opinion as a mobile gamer for a job that the people I have seen in this game, you would get longer audience retention out of them. You would get more money out of them. You would get better PR out of people like me. You would get more casual, average gamers. You would get better returning player statistics if every week the rewards aren't complete booty cheeks. You can quote me on that, okay? When you log into the game, there's no reason to even open the rewards. And I don't care about the top 5 players because that's 5 players. I want to talk about the top 50%, okay? Because those are the players that you're going to make money on when they actually pull a regional piece of gear. Okay, special operations, buff it by 30%. Battle challenges, it's fine. You don't even need to touch it, okay? Dimension Duel, buff it by 50% minimum. Omega War, buff it by 100%. You want to know why? Because the people in Omega War that are crushing are going to be the top 5 to 10 that are getting these. You're going to get money out of them anyway, bro. The extra couple thousand gems you're giving them a month, you know the numbers on how many pulls it takes to get the full Ire of Osiris gear. They're not getting it with those gems now, are they? And if they're staying to the top, they're going to need to spend more. And if they're getting good rewards, you know from your data, I don't have to tell you that people who are at the top and getting rewards spend more than those rewards are worth to continue getting those rewards. You know that. So let's give people the opportunity to get some good rewards in the top 50% so that the top 1 to 5 can battle it out if they want to. The top 50% have a good reason to actually log into the game. It gives people at the bottom 50% at least a goal to try to hit. It looks like an achievable one. And we all know the weekly rewards that you give out are not going to cut enough percentage, because I know it will cut a percentage in that you're worried about. I'll admit to it, but it's not going to cut enough of a percentage out of the money that people pay every week in order to be a deficit compared to the increase in audience retention stat that is going to pay you out. Not only that, but I know as a professional mobile company, the one thing you care about almost more than anything is the App Store and iOS rating, okay? Play Store, iOS store ratings. You need those to be high. They're very important to you. You know how you get those ratings high? People like me pump your game and say they're being generous. That's how you get reviews high. You know else how you get reviews high? People like you, the viewers, legitimately thinking you're doing a good job, okay? You know how you can do a good job? Increase the rewards to at least counteract a bit of the bad PR negativity. And for the reasons stated, I think it's in your financial best interest to do so. Take it as a free bit of advice from me. I'm still here going to be advertising your game for free. I'm still a fan. I still love the game. And yes, I love the game because I'm a huge Marvel fan. Look at the hoodie right here. I also really like dopamine, okay? This keeps me from gambling on stupid shit. I love the game. It's a good balance for me. I'm cool with it. I also get to make a few bucks off of it. And I guarantee you most people are like me. They're willing to give you some money. They're willing to relax over some stuff. They just don't want to be bent over the barrels and burned on both sides of the candle. Give people decent rewards and charge an arm and a leg, or have decent prices and give people shit rewards. But please do not do both.